Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I am going to switch gears a little bit. I am still planning on doing all sorts of things with source generators and my mocking library and the whenever dub-sharp compiler, blah, blah, blah. But over the last couple of days, I've been just doing lots of minor little things on my projects that I have as issues and trying to bring down the list, so to speak. So since Saturday afternoon, just got done working out, eating lunch, taking a shower, so I'm in a very nice space in my mind. Can't wait for my kids upstairs to start yelling. Just kidding. So I've been doing a lot of minor things. I am going to do maybe a couple videos on some iron befunge things I want to get into the language. But one of the things I've updated on some of the NuGet packages that I have is this ability to do source linking, having symbols up in the package. And just to give you the long story short, I did this for Spackle. I've done this now for a couple other ones. They just haven't been published yet, but the Spackle one has. And what's cool about it is I added this partition method. So if I just run this, and actually let's, for console app 34, whoops, not there. Let's put in, got to get rid of the args. We don't have args. No reason for args. Okay, stop, Jason. For each of our partition and partitions, console out, right line, partition. Okay, so if I just run this, we should see 7 for the partitions and then each partition. So this tries to come up with a way to split up the range as best as it can. In fact, if I say here, let's do this. We say tab, and then we'll say partition end minus partition start. Why don't you? Oh, that's got to be a value. Yeah, because those are the index. Okay, so now if I do this, well, you can see that it splits it across. In this case, that's kind of interesting because 1 to 50,000, you wouldn't think that 49,999 divided by 7. Yeah, that's actually a little weird. It actually gets, oh, there, okay. So this is actually, I'm going to put this in as a bug because this really shouldn't, it should have that better distributed across the partitions. So hold on just 1 second. We're going to come over here and I'm going to go to Spackle. Okay. Pull that in here. In real time, you'll see me put an issue in here. Partition results don't seem fair. Okay. So let's put this in here. That first result should be, the results should be closer to each other than what they are. Okay, so let's come back over here. I'm glad I did this because I run this code. So maybe I'll have something to get this. So this is a bug. Milestones, we don't have one. What are the colors? 912. I guess let's make it 9.1.3. Create that. And say save. Okay. So discovery is always a good thing. So I got this in here now. That's fine. But what I wanted to show you is being able to debug into the code when you have source link. So if I hit F5 right now, and again, I don't this is downloading the NuGet package, but with all the magic stuff that I added in, if I had a F11, it actually steps into the code for this method, which is awesome. I mean, this is actually really, really amazing. I think this is great that it does this. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Unable to read memory. So that's actually, so it can like step through it, but it's not actually seeing the values. So that's actually also very interesting. I'm going to put in another. See, this is why you explore, because you find out just how bad you did everything. So let's come back over to here and put in others. Now this one, I have no idea, one, why this is happening and what the problem would be. Like, why can't it even find the new issue? Source blank package in debugger has issues with values. If I debug this code from where it's referencing spackle as a package, put this in here again. There we go. When I step into partition, I get the code in the debugger as expected, but the local values seem off. So let's see if I do a snip. No, wait, let's come back here because I want to kind of... Yeah, I keep pressing it like I mean to... This is the stuff that I want. So let's come back over here. There we go. Preview. This is that. This is a bug. And okay, so two issues. So it works. I never actually really looked to say, hey, is it going to be the value that I thought it should be? So yeah, kind of sad. It knows what number of ranges is. It doesn't know what this is. That's kind of weird. So anyway, we're going to take a look at that later. But, and I don't even know what I could take a look at for that one. That one's really, like, I don't even know where to start with that one. All right. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. Got to Iron Befunge, have a bunch of issues that I now want to address in there, mostly by adding features, language features, but there's one that I'm going to have to do that I think is pretty ugly. And that is, if I come back here, and I go back into here, and I say, file fork. I've always had this specification I basically grabbed because I didn't know if this would ever go away, this site, so I didn't want to lose any of this. Okay, but there was something in here, and I had noticed this before I even looked at this document. And I mean, I've used this before. It's not like I forgot that this was here. But where is this? It's maybe near the bottom, I think. One thing that's actually in here is it does have some decent descriptions, but then it has a whole like table of things that go on here. Okay. Yeah, I wish it had more examples, but it has all this in here, which is really nice. But where in the world is this? Come on, I saw it before. I know I saw it last night. It basically shows you the XY coordinates, and what I thought I was doing wrong, that's why I went into this document, because I was like, am I doing this wrong? And then I realize, yeah, I'm doing it wrong, but I'm doing it wrong everywhere. So it ends up being a wash, but I really should do it correctly. Come on, where is this? There it is. Okay. So as you would expect, the x coordinate, well, I'll try to do it for you, is it's an x, y graph. I mean, x should be going that way and y should be going that way. I actually have the x and the y reversed. I don't know why I did this. I mean, so I put in here a bug to say, is x and y wrong? And I'm almost convinced it is. So what I want to do first is go in. So I think I have to basically, I have to at least do this in the parser and at least do this in the execution context. I don't know if I have to go into like the instructional handlers. Like, I think like the directional handler, this just says, hey, I need to go right. I need to do this. I need to pop values off the stack. Right now, I don't think they actually do anything with saying, like controlling the actual flow of the code. They just handle what's there. Okay. So when I process a line, okay, and if I come back to the specification, you notice that it's going like x goes this way, y goes down this way. And actually, if you go up the other way, those are negative. So that's like the y is a little different that way, and that's kind of flipped. Okay, like this is the computer storage coordinate system, which is true. I mean, if you think of Excel, as you go down, you don't decrease, you increase. So, but that is the y, okay? So as I process each line, I say from y0 to length of the line, which is this way across, and then I basically say x is the line that I'm on, the y is how far I'm moving over, and that's completely wrong. That has to go the different way, okay? So this should actually be y, this should actually be x. Of course, that's just one thing I got to do now, okay? So this becomes x, and now we have it right, because x would move the other way, y is the line that we're on. So that's actually a pretty, wait, hold on, 35. Okay, well, actually, let me show you this. So as I save here, okay, if I come over to GitHub Desktop, it's going to show this line, but what I really want to do is put in 35, flip x and y. Make a new branch, yep. But it notices I have changes, so bring them into the branch, which I do all the time. I forget that I'm supposed to make the branch, but it will say, oh, you got those there. Well, we'll just move them into this branch for you, which I don't know when they added that feature in, but for idiots like me, that's so nice. All right, cool. And then if you come back here to master, yeah, leave them on 35. That's exactly right. Yeah. So you see there's no changes there. If I come to 35, there's what had I done? When I watch the video, I'm gonna stash changes. Yes. Restore. Okay, so it stashed them. Okay, I was an idiot. Okay. All right. Cool. So we've got that done. Let's go to the execution context. And yeah, I tried playing with changing move and making it smarter so it doesn't like go in a loop, but I just could not get my head around doing it correctly. So I just said, screw it. So max x gets you the longest one. You know, we want to say x again is that way and y is that way. Okay. So now let's say if we're going down. If we're going down, we're increasing y. We're not increasing x. Okay. So you could think of this as maybe, you know what I'm going to do? Let's copy this just to use as a reference for now, and then we'll get rid of it once we have it right. So down is actually like right. Okay. So let's just grab right here and see if that makes sense. So you shouldn't change your x What you're looking to see is if I'm at the y, I come wrap up to the top. Otherwise, where I'm at +1. Correct. Up, direction up, was like going left before. Okay. Direction left was like going up, I believe. Yes, because you flip her. Okay, yep. And then direction right was like what you're doing when you're going down. Okay, so let me see if this makes sense. If I say I'm going down, the x stays the same. The y actually gets increased by 1 unless you're at max, and then you flip over. Direction up is you're minusing the y unless you're at 0, and then you go to max y. Left, if you're at 0, you have to flip all the way over, otherwise you decrease the x. Right, your x, if you're at the end, you go to 0, otherwise you increase by 1. I think that is correct now. Okay, so let's just see which tests break. Because if no tests break, I'll be surprised. Somewhat. I'll be a little surprised. 3 fail. Okay. I'm curious to see if I just do the host, that does 100 digits of pi. What happens if I run the host? Do we still get the value? Yes, we do. Okay, that's kind of interesting. What about 99 bottles? What happens with that? $64, $30, $20, $10. Yeah, I mean the printing is a little off, but cool. So that works. Factorial. 5. 120. Boom. Works as expected. So that's actually cool. So I bet some of the things are just pure positional stuff that went wrong. Let's get rid of that up for that. So get cells of single line values. 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what is the problem here? Multiple failures. Yeah, all of this is wrong. Well, that's interesting. Oh, because the directions are totally wrong. Okay, that makes sense. So these should be... wait a minute. Right, we're increased. So these are all flipped around. Okay, so 3, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0, 9, 0, and 12, 0. Okay. But this is going to be a similar thing. Yes, with lines. So these just need to 3, 0. I changed all my tests too to use the assert multiple because that is a nice little thing I found out about NuGet, or not NuGet, and Unit a while ago, a couple months ago. I think I may have mentioned that on a previous video. Yeah, I think I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 2, and then 5, 2. And then this one, handle trampoline. Why did that fail? So you're giving it a cell. Let's reformat this. This is a little wonky to read. There. Trampoline instruction is that. Oh, yeah, I think I need to make this 1, 0, and then this becomes 1, 0. You know, I wonder, could I have an implicit conversion? Yeah, let's, like if I pass in a tuple of int, then that automatically converts to a point, you know, or have that as a constructor. A constructor, not so much. It would be nice to have an implicit conversion. If I had a tuple of int, it automatically creates a new point for that. I should look into doing that. So let's put in a new issue here. You won't see this. Create implicit conversion from tuple, well, int to point. This should allow code that looks like this. Ta-da! And we'll just grab this here. To this. So then I could just say yeah, that ain't confusing at all. But I'm going to keep it in here because I think it's worth it. So just so you can see what I just did, that's the idea. So that you pass instead of a new point, you could just say 1, 0. Although the target type new, that might, I wonder if that's a case where you're going to be able to just say new of something and then do that. The target type new feature and proposed for C# future may also make this new cell new 1, 0, because you know what you're passing in is a point. Not sure about that. Okay. Like, this is clear as to what you're doing. This is a little just like, that's why I'm proposing it. I'm just going to put it in there, capture the idea, and then we'll come back to it later. Okay, so let's run all the tests again and see if we get any failures. Nope, they're all good. Okay, so, and we ran the code before as is. Alright, so we are going to 35 fixed the flip. Push that. And then we will go back to master and merge it in. Okay. Master, branch, merge, that, merge, push, and I still wish you'd have desktop people like, you should use the command line. I know I should, but I'm comfortable with this. I just wish you could click on a branch and just say delete rather than having to go to the branch and say delete, but whatever. Okay, so that is that one solved. So let me come back over here, just make sure that we got that, say close it. We got one out of the way. All right, so I'm going to stop the video here, and we're going to work on some more issues in Iron Befunge. As you can see, I've got a list going here, so we're going to start hitting these off and see where we go this afternoon. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.